right, today we're diving into a really beautiful but also kind of troubling poem by William Wordsworth. It's called Lines Written in Early Spring, and it asks a really tough question. How is it that a moment of pure, perfect beauty can also make you feel profoundly sad? Let's get into that dilemma.
So, picture this. The poet is just sitting in a grove, totally relaxed. It's one of those perfect spring days, and he's just soaking it all in. The sounds, the sights, just the whole vibe of nature around him. He's so into it that he hears what he calls 1,000 blended notes. It's a scene of just complete and utter peace.
But this is where we hit the central puzzle of the whole poem. What happens when a moment of pure bliss actually triggers a feeling of deep sadness? It's a strange emotional twist, and it's right at the very heart of what he's exploring. And that brings us to our first big idea here. The poet isn't just feeling one thing. No, he's caught in this really complex mix of feelings, a place where this incredible pleasure is colliding head-on with some deep-seated pain. This quote just nails the whole conflict, doesn't it? He's in a sweet mood, surrounded by all this beauty, but that very sweetness somehow opens up a door to sorrow. It's a feeling that I think a lot of us can probably relate to. So let's take a look at what's creating this sweet mood in the first place. The poet starts looking closer at the world around him, and he sees what he calls nature's holy plan, a world that seems to just run on pure, simple joy. I mean, what a powerful idea. For Wordsworth, nature isn't just some pretty background. It's alive, it has feelings, it experiences pleasure. He is absolutely convinced that every single flower is actively enjoying its own existence, just by breathing the air. And he gets really specific, too. He notices the periwinkle, this lovely blue flower that trails along the ground, making these beautiful natural wreaths with its leaves and blossoms. It's these tiny, perfect details that are building his vision of this joyful world. And hey, it's not just the plants. He watches the birds, and all he sees is pure, unadulterated play. He's convinced their happiness is just boundless, that every tiny little hop and flutter is a thrill of pleasure. But this is where the poem takes a sharp, heavy turn. After building up this incredible vision of a perfectly happy natural world, the poet slams it right up against the reality of the human world. You can see it right here. On one side, you've got nature's thrill of pleasure, the birds hopping and playing in the breezy air, and on the other side, the human world, which grieves his heart, brings him sad thoughts, and gives him a reason to lament. It's a really stark, really painful comparison. So it all comes down to this one crucial question. When he's faced with all this effortless joy in nature, he looks back at humanity, at our conflicts, our pain, our separation from that holy plan, and he asks, isn't this something worth mourning? But how does Wordsworth make us feel this so deeply? Well, it's not just the idea itself. It's the way he uses words to paint a picture for our senses. The technique is called imagery, and it's really the key to the poem's power. Think of imagery as the poet's secret weapon. It's language that doesn't just tell you something, it invites you to experience it with your own senses, to see, hear, and feel the world that the poet is creating right there on the page. And it's not just about sight. Imagery can tap into all 5 of our senses: auditory for sound, visual for sight, tactile for touch, and even olfactory for smell, and gustatory for taste. A master poet like Wordsworth uses a mix of these to pull us right into that grove with him. Take this line from the very beginning of the poem. He doesn't just say, "it was noisy." By describing 1,000 blended notes, he creates this rich, complex world of sound for us. So what kind of imagery is he using here? Yup, if you guessed auditory, you are spot on. He's making us hear the grove, not just see it. It's a way to immerse us in the experience right alongside him. Okay, let's zoom out for a second and look at the man behind the poem. Because this question he's asking, it wasn't just for his time. It's a question that has been echoing for centuries. So, William Wordsworth was a major player in the Romantic movement. This was a whole literary era that was all about celebrating nature and diving deep into human emotions. His poetry is constantly exploring that powerful link between our feelings and the natural world, which is exactly what we're seeing in this poem. This poem was written over 200 years ago, right as the Industrial Revolution was really taking off. But when you look at our world today, with all of our own unique challenges, Wordsworth's question feels just as urgent as ever, maybe even more so. What has man made of man? And that is definitely something to think about.